the sequel podcast.
Ooh, season. Oh, I'm cutting. The fuck happened? Oh. Okay, my audio's good. It's just my fucking headphones are weird. They gave up the ghost.
Can you see us?
There we go. That's better.
So, Corey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
What is the fuck?
We're having technical difficulties with the live cast.
As usual.
One of these days, we'll get a remote for that thing. Remember saying that when we were kids?
Getting a remote?
Yeah, did you ever have a TV that didn't have a remote? You never had one of those?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you never had to really suffer then.
What?
Not like your people.
The Indians?
The Indian people. The Native American folks.
What the fuck, dude?
This is funny. I wish you could see this.
Go live.
People of the world. Yell at it. Say something snarky.
Like, it's snarky.
It's snarky.
Like, it's not...
Is the buttons not pushing?
No, look at it. It's like...
It's freaking out. Did you drop the Wi-Fi signal?
Must be at least 4 seconds long. Finish.
Kind of like your wiener?
It's 4 seconds long? Is that a thing?
I guess. I don't know. I was trying to be snarky. I have Batman here
That's a hero click.
to co-host the show. So, tell me, what is this Hero Clicks? Is it like a dice-based
It is.
tabletop game?
It is. There we go. Okay.
What is the object of this game?
To kill the other people.
So, in typical American fashion.
Typical superhero fashion.
Right.
To defeat the enemy.
Kill the bad guys. Or lock them up in jail. Hey, look, we're on TV.
We're on TV. We've made it.
We finally.
All right, now I can
we
really get
arrived.
down to
Now that you've been fucking off for the whole first 3 minutes.
Yes.
It seemed like 20.
All right, Corey. This is our October podcast.
Oktoberfest.
So
Cast. Pod.
let's try and keep it spooky, okay?
Spooky.
Yeah.
I got something spooky.
Bring the spooks.
Bring the spooks. Jesus.
Radio
Radio silence. No.
You got something spooky?
No, I don't have something spooky. I just have something I want to get off my chest before we get too far into anything else. Because I've been waiting for this.
All right. You were supposed to podcast last week.
I was, and I was sick last week. And then we had a house showing, and then they didn't buy the house, so fuck them.
All right, go ahead.
Stop being offended for other people.
Who, me?
No, the world. I'm looking at you, motherfuckers.
The world at large.
The world at large. The whole 3 people that will ever see this podcast on that and or listen to it on YouTube in the future, maybe.
YouTube.
YouTubey. No, I guess it's...
Being offended for other people?
So this is like the popular social commentary right now about how...
I'm offended for you.
Like, if somebody were to say, oh, you know, Matt can't fucking drive because he's just a fucking drunk Indian, that's a stereotype of Native Americans in our country, like it or not.
I'm offended for myself.
Now, if somebody were to say something like that, and I'm like, oh my God, you can't talk about Native Americans like that. That's so racist.
So, like, it's none of your fucking business what I said, so don't chime in, or?
No, it's not that it's not nobody's fucking business, but we make all these other social commentaries. Everybody on the internet is like, oh, well, you know, Katy Perry can't appropriate, you know, fucking black culture, or, you know, you can't do this because you're not black, or you can't do this because you're not white, or you can't do this because you're not Native American, or whatever.
Right.
Okay? And I'm not saying it's cool to be racist, because it's not.
It's not this isn't a race thing.
It's not a race thing. It's a fucking...
You have not a foot to stand on.
Exactly. It's not your fight. Now, you could be like, hey, dude, that's fucked up.
Right.
But that's fucked up because I like you and you're my friend. Just because you happen to be Native American doesn't have anything to do with it.
Right. I know a lot of people, and everyone, this group of people hates that group of people. maybe not hate, but maybe it bugs them. But it's like, oh, they're my friends too, and it's like, okay, I'm okay with you talking shit. I'm not gonna join in necessarily, but you can vent to me. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, fuck them.
Fuck them, those cocksuckers. And then
I hate them too.
Then you go talk to the other people. Yeah, those motherfuckers over there, they're cocksuckers.
It's like, I understand that not everybody likes everything, and I'm not gonna be the one to.
No, and
I'm not gonna jump on I'm not gonna join someone else's battle.
Exactly, you don't have to join their battle, and you don't have to stand up for people. Like, there's one thing to be like, okay, we don't need to be, calling for lynchings and calling.
You don't need to necessarily stand up for people.
Yeah, exactly. Being racist and fucked up is
wrong.
And it's a picture of your character. If you are always talking about, those fucking porch monkeys or those, fucking beaners or whatever. You know what I mean?
Gas.
If you're a person who only sees the social stereotype of the group, and you don't see
you're not
people,
colorblind,
and that's horseshit too, because people are naturally hardwired to be afraid of things that are not like them. So when exactly. When our people, when white people and brown people and black people were all separated by fucking continents and oceans, we never saw those people before. And then we saw, what I mean? What is that? And then you see them and you're like, well, that's different than me. Their culture's different than me. And it's not even about, indigenous people. It's not even about, developed versus indigenous people. It's about your culture's different than mine, so mine's better.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean?
The entitled.
Exactly. And everybody feels, oh, well, we're better than so-and-so. And it doesn't fucking matter. It's different. But for people to stand up and be like, oh, well, I'm going to protest on behalf of Black Lives Matter this weekend.
Right.
It's like...
There's no black people at this protest group.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm the whitest fucking person in the whole fucking world to even think about doing that. And it's stupid. Like,
it's not your fight.
And the same thing with the bisexual, gay, lesbian thing. Or lesbian, bisexual, transsexual thing, whatever it is.
There's a Q in there somewhere. Did we talk about this?
I don't know what the Q means. Queer.
Quarter sexual.
Quarter of each. But I have friends who are quote unquote part of that community. I have lady friends people that I know that are gay. I have guy friends that I know that are gay. I have people that I know that are transsexual. And it's not about that. Those people are people to me, and they're my friends. I give a shit who they want to fuck. Like, right. I don't give a shit who you want to sleep with. I really don't.
Now, You're not going to
if you want to
persecute
sleep with,
anybody.
I give my dad shit all the time, constantly about sleeping with fat chicks.
Does he do that?
It's because I give him shit. It's not because I don't like fat people. I am a fat people, okay?
My people, Gabby, my people also.
Which people is that?
Well, she's Mexican Indian, so.
She's Mexican Indian.
And I'm Indian white.
And lesbian?
Gabby?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, shots fired, Gabby.
Shots fired. So.
Let me keep this up and running so I can see comments.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is people, fighting on behalf of these groups. Oh shit! Now we got an echo.
No, go ahead.
So people fighting on behalf of these groups, and they have nothing to fucking do with it. Now I don't have a problem with you saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna fucking bash people who are of a different color or race than I am, or who are of a different sexual orientation than I am, or whatever it is." Like, you don't have to fucking bash them, and you can tell people, "Hey, dude, that's fucked up." Like, don't be friends with those people.
Don't be friends with assholes.
Exactly. It's easy as peasy.
I don't know why I'm friends with you.
Because I'm an asshole.
Why you're friends with me.
Because you're an asshole. It says...
Two assholes
don't make a right. Two Rogers don't make a right.
Two Rogers don't make a right.
So, that's my little stupid
what happened
fucking
to you?
rant. Nothing.
Did someone try and fight on your behalf?
No. I've been seeing a lot of this in... the internet media and
everyone's
posting.
So super enthusiastic to join a cause, join a fight, to join a side.
They want to be part of something.
They want to be part of something that they're
and
not
they want to
even
make
need
a
to be part of.
difference. And it's like,
Go suck a dick.
how many? I would be very curious to see a statistic on how many white people went to the Million Man March when Martin Luther King Jr. made his famous speech on the National Mall.
Well,
I'm not going to say there weren't white people there, but I'm also saying that
mostly black people.
That movement, the civil rights movement, where Martin Luther King Jr. was
aimed
speaking
at white people because the black people know what they want.
Exactly, but it's a show of force of the black people standing up and saying, hey, look, the way we're being treated is fucked up. We don't like it. We're all the same. Let's just be fucking chill. That was a basic fucking message of what they wanted. They wanted to fucking stop being hosed down with the fire hose and stop riding in the back of the bus. And I'm sure it goes much deeper than that, but what I'm getting at...
Let's get Cory's comment trending somewhere in the world on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag fucking, let's fucking chill.
Hashtag let's fucking chill.
Get that out there, people.
Person.
At Cory Easley.
Yeah, don't put my fucking email address.
Hashtag.
I get a bunch of hate mail. And
Hashtag let's fucking chill. We've got 3 people viewing right now. Who's viewing? Make a comment, and we can talk back at you.
With a slight delay. So
with a semi-slight delay.
That's my fucking bitch. Just all the fucking shit I've been reading and seeing videos, social commentary. It's like people are jumping on fucking bandwagons that don't have a seat for you. I don't have a problem with you supporting causes like that. Being like, yeah, I will vote all day long, and I have voted for equal marriage rights or whatever they call the fucking bills or laws that they've tried to pass as far as same-sex marriage. I'll vote for that in any election any day of the week. Ooh, we got the tiger claw, panther claw feet.
Well, Cory, I'm glad that you're stepping up and making a standing with the people who are
I just want to make a statement.
Against.
It's like shut the fuck up. Honestly, like to come out and be an activist for a cause that you are not even remotely related to.
That you don't need to be active in.
You can be a supporter.
I'm sure there will be a time and a place when you can help out.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be standing on the front lines.
It's like going to a Black Lives Matter rally and holding a sign as a white person that says Black Lives Matter.
Giving a speech.
And we want equality. You're throwing yourself into the fight of people who it's like a kick in the face to put yourself in their fight.
You're lessening it a little bit.
It is. And as much as it is for the All Lives Matter group, those people are just fucking assholes. It's like, well, we don't like that you have your own cause, so we're going to make one that makes you sound stupid.
Right. Well, I mean, all lives do matter.
They do, but that's not the point of the Black Lives Matter
Right, concept. No, because they were at the time, and probably still,
elevated levels of police brutality. And that's what it was about. It was about police brutality, and it seeming like it's in larger numbers against the black community, which, demographically, there are probably more black people generally than there are white people. I hate for everybody to fucking notice there are more black, Asian, African, whatever. There are other fucking non-European descent, quote-unquote minorities. There are more of those people in our country than there are white people now. Do the fucking math, people. Yeah, we might be run by a group of old-ass fucking rich white people, but we let that happen every day of the week. And the old people and the fucking masses and the majorities vote for that. So if you want it to fucking change, stand up and vote for somebody that actually stands for real change, not fucking bullshit economic financial change that only puts money in their back pocket. Okay? But vote for change that takes those fucking people with special interest groups in their back pocket out of the fucking office and put normal Americans in there. Get rid of fucking career politicians. Fuck them.
I know who you voted for president, Cory.
Yeah, and I'll admit it all day long. Because financially, I think it was a better choice than Hillary. I'm a Trump supporter. Make America great again.
I was.
But we can only do that as a fucking group of free people.
I think it shouldn't be. I think we should have a monarchy.
You would.
No, what? A socialist society. We should have Bernie.
If Bernie would have been a front runner, if he would have been like one of
Hillary.
the mains, I almost hate to admit it on the fucking open air that I probably would have given him a shot. You know, I'll admit this too. I gave Barack Obama a fucking shot.
Did you vote for Barack?
First go around, I voted for him.
I voted for McCain.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. No, I voted for McCain.
You voted against Barack in the first election?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a surprise to me.
Why?
I don't know. Just
I am
because you're brown.
I'm a Republican and a conservative.
As am I.
But that doesn't mean that the Republican conservative nominee is the best.
No, it does not. And that's why I will say that if Bernie had been a serious contender, which he would have if Hillary hadn't cheated, that fucking bitch, I'm talking to you.
Well, I'm pretty sure Trump cheated too.
Yeah, well, he cheated better than everybody else.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about politics.
Politics is cheating and bastards. So, like I said, I got up on my soapbox just long enough to fucking piss everybody off. So I'll quit.
Pissed off. You pissed off all the black people.
I pissed off all the black people. They're gonna kill me now.
They're like, you're not gonna stand with us.
I will also not stand against you, and that's the main point.
All right, Cory. Today I was given this.
Is that a reward for being there for so long?
10 years. This is my 10-year service award.
Can I? Ooh, it's hefty. And
it's a ruler.
And it's about as long as your dick.
Hey-o.
That is, what does that even mean? Like
10 years.
10 years.
I was also given.
It's also metric.
An option to choose another gift as well, and I chose another ruler.
You got 2 rulers?
Well, they're like, okay, sign on and choose one of these gifts. It was like a bag or like
coffee cup or
there was like a power bank that said JCPenney on it, which was like my number 2 choice. But I've got power banks. I don't need another one. Like a pen. Shit like a coffee mug and shit like that. But I chose, it was like a glass ruler that said JCPenney's. And I like cool, like, glass things, so that's what I went with.
Seems like a logical choice.
It'll go right next to my glass 5-year.
So, do they up the ante a little bit? Like, what'd you get for 5-year?
I got
a ruler?
No, well, I mean, I guess this is the thing they give now. So when you start there, you get a 1 year.
Okay. When you get 1 year, you get a 1 year ruler?
Yeah, and I don't know. They weren't giving these out when I hit my 1 or my 5.
Right. So they owe you.
I don't need it. But I think this is a cheap way of giving someone a gift. Like right. It's.
Well, you can make about $1 billion of those for about half a penny a piece.
But yeah, my 5-year, I think they gave us some breakfast.
No, that's not bad.
And then when I hit my 5-year, it was like a decent sized hefty magnet that was like a square, but it was like 4 puzzle pieces.
Oh, okay.
And it said JCPenney. Later on, when they changed the logo, they were giving people a 5-year that was like about the same size block of glass with the logo on it.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And I traded mine for that one with someone who got that.
Oh, okay.
Because I like that better.
Sure.
At
my job.
You plan on hitting 5? You plan on hitting 10?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe 5. We'll see what happens when.
No, fuck that. No, fuck that.
Or we'll make movies instead.
Okay. And you ain't getting no 5-10 from me.
I'm not getting no 5-10 bullshit from you.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We'll do like $1 million revenue. Like every time we hit $1 million, we'll do you can give me a keychain for
every time we hit $1 million.
Every time we profit $1 million, then you can give me a keychain.
Sure.
And then I'll make you some cupcakes or something. I didn't say you didn't have to pay me too.
In lieu,
you cheap fucking
in lieu
bastard.
of the $1 million.
I don't want the whole thing.
It'll be a fucking keychain like this.
Fuck, I make like $30,000 right now a year, so that's pretty close.
So in a few years.
In a few years. Ooh, are we ready for the question? Anyway, my job when you get permanent hired, so a lot of people start as temps, and when they bring you on permanent hire, they give you a pin, like a lapel pin, you know?
Oh, those things are big now.
Apparently, and they're kind of cool.
Enamel pin? Is that what they're calling an enamel pin?
Yeah,
those things are big. Those are
deal.
growing in popularity right now.
Maybe we should get on that bandwagon.
Sequel Productions enamel pin.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there are 4-color demon ones. They did a 4-color demon one. There's a flag that I would love to get.
The 4-color demon flag?
Yeah. But I don't feel like dropping the 50 on that.
That's cool. It's good profit margin, though.
But, like, I probably will buy it when we make this next movie.
Okay.
And we'll put it up in the wherever, the office, whatever.
Nice.
So, anyways.
Very cool. Yeah, no, that sounds
you get
like...
the pin?
Yeah, you get a pin for your...
Do you have one?
I do have one for my permanent hire when I first started. And then it was funny because, as a remark on the 5-year thing, I had switched the second shift, and there was this dude that worked in the back, and he got I would say in the cage. Okay, it doesn't make any difference to you. It's a hard drive cage. We process just hard drives in that cage. So we every day before we start, like 5 minutes after the hour, we have a huddle so they can go over, whatever special instructions for the day, stuff like that. If there's anything going on, special meetings, whatever. So.
Does someone take down the minutes?
At that time, no, they don't do minutes. At that time, they also hand out the new hire pins, and then if we have somebody that's 5 or 10 years, they get their whatever it is. And it's funny because I don't know what they do for 5 years because this guy, I think it was 5 years is what he got. And it was in a package, like a manila envelope, and they gave it to him. And they said, we just want to blah, 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 congratulate so-and-so for, hitting your 5-year mark with Arrow. We appreciate your service, whatever. And, yeah, they hand him his thing, and he takes it, and he, looks at it, and he tries to hand it back to the supervisor, and he goes, how about a raise? He was grumpy.
Was there, like, a gift card or something?
I don't know what was in there. So that's the part that sucks. I don't know what it is. It was like a mystery prize. And then the supervisor goes, well, you can do whatever you want with it on your time, but I have to give it to you, right?
You can do whatever you want with it on your time.
He gave it to him, and the guy tried to give it back to the supervisor, fuck you, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Tried to, hey, shove this up your ass kind of thing.
Right.
And the supervisor said, no, you have to take it. I have to give it to you. You can throw it away if you want later, or you can give it to
front of me,
whatever you want.
Away.
So he grabs it. He stands there for a minute, and right at the end of the fucking the huddle, he walks up right next to the supervisor and hawks it in the garbage can right next to him. He didn't last in the 2 weeks they shit canned him.
Oh, they fired him.
Yeah, insubordination, and on a fucking big level. I mean, you're really making a fucking ass out of yourself, even if you're trying to make a statement.
For that what he did, they fired him?
Pretty well, they didn't say that, but everybody knows that's why. They just had to find a better reason. So it was...
represent.
Uh-huh.
No, I was looking at the comments here.
Are we actually getting comments?
Yeah, no, LA said H-Belt represent.
H-Belt?
Yeah, it's a work thing.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I won't worry about it. So, yeah. Anyway, stupid thing.
Stupid thing. I feel like there's a lot to talk about, and I don't want to miss any fucking beats.
Well, let's hit it.
Well, I mean, it's been a while.
It has been
a little while. I guess we can do a little house cleaning, I guess.
Clean house.
Clean house.
Dirty laundry.
We've got some movie stuff coming up.
Yeah, we got at least one major production for sequel productions next summer.
Maybe 2 next year.
Maybe 2. Well, yeah, because you got that other one in the pipe. So we'll see.
That got halted. That got halted real quick because my brother had a baby early.
Yeah.
Because it was that week, it was his turn to fucking take my finished script and give me notes and shit. And then the doctor was like, your blood pressure is way too high. We're going to go ahead and deal with this right now.
Oh, for the baby?
Yeah, for the baby.
Oh, okay.
So, have I talked about that? I talked about it maybe a little bit with Dakota last week. But yeah, so they ended up doing a C-section on Tasia.
Yeah.
And so they had the baby October 1st.
Nice.
And in Henderson, Nevada, which is right next door to Las Vegas, Nevada. And then a few hours later, some nutbag went and fucking shot up.
Yeah, that wasn't too long after they had the baby, was it?
It was...
I don't know.
They had it at 11 o'clock.
When was the shooting?
So they had the baby around 11 a.m. 10 p.m., 10, 11 p.m. that night was when the shooting was.
So like less than like 12 hours.
Yeah, yeah, around about a 12-hour approximation.
That's crazy. At least they're not.
At,
I mean,
at Mandalay Bay.
Where are they at though? I mean, they were
in Henderson, which is
out
like Sparks.
It's on the north side.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of like Reno Sparks, Henderson, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
There is really no big of a difference.
They're in the neighborhood.
And I'm pretty sure the hospital they were at was in Henderson. But that guy was in the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino, and that's where Rose's brother works.
Oh, no.
But everyone's fine.
Okay, that's good news.
I mean, literally, a lot of her family. So, like, Rose's brother and his wife, their 2 kids, his wife's, like, mom and stepdad, and their, her sisters.
Right.
So, like, there is a huge group of family on Rose's side. And then for me.
And they work in the hotel.
My brother and my sister. And then, they weren't there at the time, but my parents are going to be living down there. But Sam's girlfriend's family is there. My sister's boyfriend's, I'm pretty sure his family is there too. So, like, there is a huge grouping of family on both of our sides in Las Vegas.
So that was kind of a big hit for you guys.
Well, like, I went to bed not even knowing.
Right.
So, like, it happened, like, right after I go to bed. Right. So I woke up in the morning, and, I see this.
On Facebook.
No, not even on Facebook. My storyboard guy. He sent me a thing.
Okay.
That was the first thing I saw. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I immediately text like my sister and my brother-in-law.
Right.
And you know who else is down in Vegas too is Cory Forson.
Right. And
I hit him up too. He's a cop.
He's PD down there. Yeah.
And I hit him up too. So and I got instant messages back from everybody.
And Cory was not.
And Cory was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I got, they called me in. So like everybody's fine.
Good news.
So we didn't lose anybody. 58 others were lost.
Not so lucky.
Yeah, not so lucky. So.
Which is, it's bullshit for people to fucking act out like that for absolutely no reason. And even if he felt like he had a reason, there's no reason to fucking just kill people that have absolutely nothing to do with your cause. Like, even if you have a cause.
Here we go again.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna,
sidebar on the earlier.
If you're angry enough to kill people over something,
it's got to go beyond anger because it took time to do it.
Absolutely.
If you spend time on anything, whether you want to do it, you don't want to do it, you have to do it. It's fun. It sucks. If you wait too long to do something, you're probably gonna end up not doing it and do something else.
Right. But
so it goes beyond him hating somebody and wanting to do something. There has to have been some kind of fucking crack in his head or something.
Yeah, and I guess that's why they do shit like that. People like that do hurt innocent people who...
They're missing a few chromosomes.
Yeah, I mean, their fucking screws are loose upstairs, and they're missing the fucking point altogether.
Right. Not a productive member of society.
Yeah. So, I'm glad that motherfucker blew his own brains out. I just wish one of our boys could have got to do it first.
And he shot like a security guard.
Yeah, right before they breached the room. Or
like, that was the first thing, as the security guard went up.
Right.
And he got shot, and which... Him going up there and getting shot probably saved a lot more lives because this dude was ready to take out so much more. He wasn't planning on killing himself, from what I understand.
Right. Well, and from the pictures that I've seen of the room with all the hardware laying around and
I didn't see any pictures.
I've seen some pictures, regardless of whether or not they're real. I suspect they are. I believe they're leaked. They weren't actually released. But, I mean, there was a fucking pile, like a case pile.
Yeah, I heard it was suitcases and suitcases of guns.
Yeah, there's like
modified guns at that.
I mean, I wouldn't call them modified. I mean,
what I read, it was saying it was modified.
They are modified to an extent, and I don't want to get in the gun debate, today, because really, it doesn't make any difference because however you use something is how it's going to affect people. So if I take something that's not modified and I do the same thing, doesn't matter if the gun was modified or not. It's what I used it for.
Sure.
And it's what was wrong with me to make that happen.
Regardless of any kind of modification.
Yeah.
A bullet's going to go off and go into somebody.
But, the pictures I saw, there were piles of these aftermarket 60-round magazines and drum magazines and shit. I mean, this guy was fucking ready to cut loose with some serious hellfire. And like I said, I'm like that the security guard probably did save a lot of lives.
Right.
Without
So once
even
he got
knowing
shot,
it.
that's when the cops came in, they cleared out the floor, and then that's when they,
Fixing to breach a room, he
Right.
probably killed himself
Yeah.
long before they got in there. So, good riddance to bad rubbish, as they say.
well, not soon enough, unfortunately,
Yeah,
for
well-
those 58 people.
Hopefully, next time the guy wants to do something like that, anybody wants to do something like that, they'll blow their brains out first. They need to get the series of events correct here and kill themselves before they kill other people.
Right, like Lemmings. Let's get rid of the nutbags like Lemmings,
Yeah,
which I think is fake.
I think so too, but it's a good game.
I think
You
Lemmings.
remember the video game?
I remember, but I never played it.
Yeah, it
But
was super-
Lemmings
it
are
was
a real
kinda
thing.
Yeah,
But I think the idea of them committing mass suicide
they
is
don't.
fake.
They don't. I've actually seen read a thing on that, and they don't. The ones that did that were actually murdered.
Right, they were pitched
The
off
video?
of the documentary about
Yeah.
Lemons or whatever. The filmmakers pitched them off of a fucking cliff.
Which is pretty fucked up, to say the least.
So there's that. So as I was saying about the script I wrote with my brother, it's been kind of halted since he's been dealing with the baby. So the baby was born C-section, and then the baby got an infection, but it's fine.
Good news.
And was moved to another hospital where they have the proper setup to
Right.
deal with that, and they should be taking him home Friday.
Nice.
So it's just a matter of getting back to normalcy and moving forward with the script, which sucks because I'm ready to like start churning out these scripts.
Start pounding shit out. So what else do we have?
So there's 2 possible movies and then a short animated thing that we're going to do some voicing for.
Which I'm excited about.
So I'm having a little bit of problem finding women to read. So I have 3. I need 4.
You have 3?
I have 3. I need 4.
Who else do you? What's the last part you need?
I guess the prostitute. I mean, it's rough because there's 2 Mexicans, a Russian, and a black prostitute. And I've got 1 Mexican
Right.
and 2 whites. So it's just going to be a read-through.
Right.
Like the people that I did want, couldn't necessarily get them for Saturday at 5.
Right.
But I probably will get them in to just record the audio that we need.
Right. Which
rather
is
than
the bonus of doing this is that you don't have to have everybody together. You just do audio
Right.
and voice acting.
Right.
Which I'm not saying is the easy thing to do, but
which I want. I don't necessarily need your help for this, but I saw when I first got this first mic, and I was looking up like how to hook it up because you need the phantom power and everything. One guy had a setup, like just a little makeshift kind of recording studio, and what he had was, I don't know if we watched that video together when we were trying to set it up, but he had like a box, and then he had the foam in it, and then he just
the mic in the box.
the mic in the box.
Yeah, so you don't get noise, reverberation from the room, like even what we're doing right now.
Well, I mean, we
You
got
get a
high
little bit
ceiling.
of, you get a little bit of echo. But maybe we could build like a little booth
Well, I
for
bought.
that. So
It's in the office. I got home late, so I wasn't able to see that it got delivered to the office.
a great
But
material.
I got the foam,
Okay.
and then I've got some cardboard boxes.
And really that's basically what you need.
Right,
I mean,
so,
you
I
can just
mean-
extend your boom mic down into it.
Just put a hole in there. That's what
Tape
that
it
guy
up,
did. The
call
guy
it a
just
day.
put a hole in there. Yeah, no, I guess we could just kind of flip this.
Yeah, you could just put the mic down into the box with the foam around it, and that's all you really need because
Right.
you're just trying to get rid of extra sound so that you have clean sound going in.
Right, and he
even
wants
th-
clean sound. I don't know how great of a quality I'm going to be able to get him. I mean,
Well,
it's
and-
good enough.
even though you have the foam socks for these, get a spit shield.
Get a spit shield too.
I think. Honestly.
It's like-
Just because it keeps the. You notice how you talk close to the mic and you get those the air noises.
That'll stop it. It'll give you some distance.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's that. So we'll do the read through for that on Saturday. He gave me some money to buy everyone beer and pizza.
Cool.
He, because he was like, "Hey, I'd like to get,
He kind of wanted the making of thing like we were doing with the other film.
right." No, because what we did was I do my live. We went live for the read through of Get Fiasco,
Right.
and he was like, "Oh, I was inspired. Maybe you'd be able to do that for my movie that you wrote for me." And I was like, hell yeah. And I thought it was going to be easier than it is. But, like, I've got dudes coming out my ass. But as far as getting chicks...
That didn't sound gay.
As far as getting chicks to read when I wanted to do it.
Right.
Like, I started with Greg. Because I told Greg about it. Because I was like, hey, Greg, I'd like you to film this. And he was like, let's do it. So...
Because Greg's done for the season, right?
No, he's not.
I mean, he's teaching now, but...
No, he's doing something
Is
else.
he still acting?
Yeah, he's doing something.
Nice.
Because he mentioned rehearsals.
Oh, okay. Maybe you got a stage gig.
But then he had a birthday, and he went away for a weekend. So, like, things have been slow.
Right.
And there's, like, a million things that I want to do. Like, I got this big 150 episode coming up for Sequel Podcast that I'm trying to come up with things for. And trying to figure out when I can fit getting those things in on time so that I can have an episode 150 be like an episode 150 rather than like, oh, I haven't podcasted for a month, we're around 150. I mean, it's numbered, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if I'm to be able to be consistent month to month to month, or week to week to week with these episodes, like...
You got to stay up on it.
We're like 6 away.
Right.
Like, that says 142 up there. I think this episode that we're doing right now is 145.
Because you got 2 banked, or?
No, because I didn't save whatever the ones that I did.
So
143 was the one I did in Vegas.
Right.
142 was the one I did when I came back with you.
Right.
And then I did one last week with Dakota, which was 144.
So we're 45 today.
Yes, so that means we're 5 away.
Right.
And I don't want to come to the week of 150 and be like, I want you and you, and then they both can't be there, whoever it is.
Right.
And suddenly it's like, oh, well, I want to keep
Then it's
podcasting,
nothing.
but it's like, oh, we're just going to skip 150 and go to 151. I mean, it's possible. So, like, I mean, I'm stressing out about getting that done because I do want it to be special.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be if push comes to shove.
Right.
And trying to get this read-through going the way I want, which it's going to be semi-perfect. Or not, I wouldn't even use the word perfect, but it's going to be semi what I want. Not 100%. Like, your dad said yes, you said yes.
By the way, I can't be there. I'm just fucking with you, dude.
Well, you were like, you were the only one that was like the most game.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking
I
stoked.
mean, Greg gave me his schedule, and he said
And
Saturday afternoon is best.
And when I told my dad about it, because we were doing some work together last weekend or weekend before, and I told him, I was like, hey, we got this other thing, because we were kind of talking about the movie and what we're working on next, and I told him about the animated thing for for the storyboard guy, and he's like, dude, fucking let me know if you guys got anything you want me to do, and I'm like, I got a fucking part for you.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking, you're already set, and he's like, sweet. So, I mean, he was fucking stoked from the get-go, and so was I, because when I read the script, it was like, that sounds like fun.
Really? You
Yeah.
liked the script? He really liked the script, too, the dude, which I still don't know how to say his name.
Do you have it?
It's, well, I mean, without having to show you a bunch of shit, I do have it.
Right, okay. Another time.
Another time. But, yeah, so, I mean, that's the house cleaning that we've got going on.
Sure.
I do know what I want to do for episode 150. And it's going to be like I want to release it on Black Friday.
Okay.
And it'll be like a Christmas episode.
Nice.
And one thing that I would like to do is I don't think I'm spoiling anything because nobody fucking listens to these.
I don't know. We still got people on, right?
No, not right now.
No?
But
Fuck you.
but this is the most that I've seen people on at once. There was
Well,
like 4 on there for a little bit.
It's prime time, dude.
It is prime time, 7:30. People sit down for dinner, watch some sequel podcast.
Listen to the little sequel podcast.
That's a dream come true if that fucking ever happened.
Listen to some sequel podcast on YouTube.
You know,
Radio.
if we get into a groove where we're like making movies and we're doing things and we're able to podcast,
and we have shit to
I
talk
would
about.
love to have a regular schedule working, and we can change it from like sequel podcast to like sequel dinner cast or something like that, and be
Right.
like, hey, 7:30 Wednesday night, it's time to listen to, sit down, have dinner, and
sit
listen
down
to
with the kids, listen to some fucking shit.
But I would love that. That would be great. But I would like to do some Christmas singing.
Singing.
So like,
Oh, Holy Night.
that's not on the list.
Jungle
I made a
Girls?
list. I made a list of the ones that I want,
Okay.
and different people, and then one group
Okay.
song, which all that stuff sounds like I'm going to have to do on kind of a separate basis, which is going to be a pain in the ass because I know how it is to deal with people.
Sure.
But that's one thing that I want to do. That would be done separately. There would be one main cast, like one main podcast, and then I would have to go and produce it and drop those songs in periodically.
The sound drops.
Sound drops. And
You need a bigger board for shit like that. I'm kidding. Actually, I think your board will actually do that.
well, no. I mean, I don't even use that board for anything other than for the mics
For
and
levels.
the headphones.
Levels and input.
But yeah, so that's one thing that I want to do. And it'll be, and like right now, like a few years ago, I did a Halloween podcast for 5 weeks.
Okay.
Like I think the last week of September through to the end of October, and the last episode I did was, it was like me, Greg, Dakota, and Kelly, and we all like, and when I had them over separately, we read a bunch of like short horror stories.
Right.
So, it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like whatever. And that would have been great to have done this year. But there's just not any time.
Yeah, this year's been a little crazy.
I mean,
been
I'm
crazy for me.
sure there is time, but I'm feeling like I'm asking too much of people.
I don't think so. I mean, there's always time, like we were talking about before. There's always time to do something. And when people are busy, they don't see the time. They don't see the time or make the time. And I'm guilty as fuck. So we got the house cleaning out of the way. 150's coming up soonish.
Couple projects next year.
Couple projects. What else?
Well, that's it for the house cleaning.
Let's get the book then. Unless we got something else that's more pertinent.
No, I mean, do you remember these?
Oh, dude, I do.
So for those of us who aren't watching and are listening to the post Facebook, I'm holding the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book series
I remember those from when I was a kid.
with the fucked up
I
pictures.
think, yeah.
These are what we read from a few years back. We did some from there, maybe from a couple other books.
Nice.
And, all my, books are packed up. I packed up all my books because they were just kind of in there, and I didn't know what was going to go on with them or if we were going to move to a different place when the lease was up here.
Right.
So I packed up all my books. So all my short horror stuff are packed up. So, so I didn't really have anything. And, I prepped for October that year in September.
Right.
So I had banked episodes for October, and I was just ready to just drop those.
Right. Get ahead of the game.
Yeah.
It is.
So we're going to, that reminds me, we are going to film the read-through where Ivy works.
Which is...
across from In-N-Out on Virginia.
Okay.
Did I send you that picture? I sent Greg the picture, and he loved
you
it.
didn't send it to me.
It's just
Cool venue, though.
I guess. It's just a room, it's like a nice room at an apartment complex. She works there.
Cool.
So that's where
So it'll be quiet and...
hopefully.
That'd be nice. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, so that's that. All right, I guess we can go to the book now.
Yeah, that pretty much covers the ranting,
There's
raving,
nothing else?
the
See any
local
movies?
news.
Herzog movies I let you borrow. Are those packed away now, or what?
No, they're in a very special location where I know exactly where they are.
I wish you would watch that fucking Grizzly Man.
I'll
Because I'm
watch-
going to forget anything, because I watched it so long ago now.
I'll watch that one first. I was actually interested in the one,
Little Dieter
The-
learns to fly, needs to fly.
maybe, I don't remember which one you were telling me about, but the one
The
that's
Vietnam one?
the one that's filmed in German and then dubbed
Oh,
in
I
English
fucking-
and then
Gire, The Wrath of God.
maybe.
It was filmed in English,
That's what it was, dubbed in German.
dubbed in German for the official
Right,
cut.
and then, so
because English was the only common language between everyone on the set.
Right.
But it was a German language movie, so they just went and dubbed
film.
it. Yeah.
Which is actually pretty funny.
All right, Corey.
Hit it.
You get instantly transported to Neanderthal times with only the knowledge in your head and whatever you have in your pockets or purse right now. What do you do to establish dominance and avoid being beaten to death by a caveman?
I've got a big lighter.
In your pocket? Because...
Oh, no, I've got a Sharpie in my pocket.
So you're transported while we're sitting here. So, what are you going to do with that pen to establish dominance in the Neanderthal times?
I think it's more about what's in your head than what you have on your person.
Yeah, but you got to remember, like, this goes back to exactly one of the things that you mentioned earlier. Not like...
Different cultures,
not knowing, not understanding what that is. White people seeing black people for the first time. So an uncivilized caveman sees you for the first time. You don't know that he's not going to do everything he possibly can to kill you.
This is true.
And you don't, like, sight unseen, you're dealing with this group.
Right.
Some guy comes from behind you and clubs you on the back of the head. No dominance being established today.
Yeah, but, you know, do I know I'm going there? Like, I'm sitting here and I know I'm going to go there. You're just like, hey, guess what? You're going to Neanderthal times.
You've got your headset on, but it's not connected to anything.
You know, I'm like...
Street toughs callback.
I don't know. I'd like to think that I have some, you know, situational awareness that would be beneficial to me, that I'm not just going to show up and get fucking ambushed.
You're going to garb up in the...
You know, yeah.
The fucking tiger skins. And
try to fit in and fucking...
Just not say anything.
That's what I mean. You have to fit in with their culture and...
You would probably be bigger than everybody. Weren't they small?
I would probably be taller than most people.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't be built as well as them, because
they might be hunched over and all like...
But they're probably very... very strong. Very strong because of the manual labor they have to do to survive.
Manual,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the way they have to operate.
No sedentary lifestyle.
And I would give them fire.
You would know how to create fire quicker.
That's what I'm saying.
They're like, bitch, we already got fire.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so maybe they have fire because they keep fire.
Sure.
Because that's one of the methods of making fire is retaining embers so that you can reuse it. That was one of the earliest ways of them recreating fire. They would like a natural fire, use it, and then carry it. That's where, you know, Swedish logs came from, and fire bundles and shit like that.
Would you try to teach them a language? Do you think they're capable of learning a language?
It's hard to say. I mean, maybe they had their own language. We don't know anything about them.
I mean, did they have vocal cords, like, developed enough to...
I don't know anything about the Neanderthal anatomy, other than, you know, proportionately they were different.
Don't we only know bones?
Basically, yeah. But, I mean, they can rebuild visual structure in 3D rendering and stuff, so we kind of know what they would look like, but...
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. It's all lies. It's all
fake. I'm not calling it lies, but I don't get how they can grasp what they look like on the outside.
Well, it's like we do with dinosaurs.
Right, same thing there.
You look at... Well, and we have found outlines, like, of dinosaurs, like the skin imprints. We've seen that, and that's how we know recently that some dinosaurs actually did have feathers.
Right.
That's where...
And I saw recently, not too recently, that they didn't make all the crazy, huge dinosaur sounds.
Probably not.
They made like a smaller bird-like sound, I believe.
Perhaps so.
All right. Let's see what the other question is. All right. Which movie villain...
Oh, shit.
Would you be willing to date in real life for at least a year?
Ooh, movie villain to date for a year in real life.
I mean, this is basically like, which movie villain are you willing to bang for a year?
Right.
That's basically what this question is. I don't know why it says date. It says no cheating. I'm talking villain, not anti-hero.
So like a real live female villain.
I mean, you can date a guy.
I don't want to.
I'm not going to judge.
Jeez.
Did you miss out on that line during the read-through where he's like, I don't know what you identify, or were you here for that part?
I missed that one. Fuck. I wish I had a list.
A list of female villains. What's the last movie you saw?
Fuck. It was probably a kid's movie.
Was there a villain in it?
Oh, the last movie I saw was Captain Underpants.
Was there a female villain?
No.
Before that?
Fuck.
Do you not watch movies anymore?
Not very frequently. I mean, especially not since going back to day shift. But
He's looking around for like movie posters.
I'm like, I need a hint here. The first one that came to mind. The first one that came to mind was
James Bond.
No, it was actually Poison Ivy.
Sure.
From
Uma Thurman.
Was it Uma Thurman in that movie?
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, if I could survive it, I mean, yeah, go for that.
You couldn't survive it.
Probably not.
Well, no, because as far as the comic books go, she's able to control her poison levels.
Okay.
So, like, if she wants to kiss somebody, she creates the toxin.
So just don't piss her off.
Right.
Like
for a year.
Right, for a year.
And then you break it
off. I don't know. Uma Thurman, I'd just do whatever she said.
Yeah, do you think Uma Thurman's hot?
She was hot back then. I don't really know what she looks like now.
I think she looks better now than she did back then.
Yeah. No, she was good looking, though. Well built. Yeah. It's too bad Sandy Bullock never played a villain.
Did she not?
I don't think so. And she was kind of a...
That proposal movie?
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No, I guess she's always been... Oh, wait, no. That's not true. She did play a villain in a movie. A movie that wouldn't be surprised if you've seen it.
I have no idea.
Radio silence. The Minions.
Did she play that part?
Yeah, she was the villain in Minions.
I didn't know that.
It's not like she looks like Sandra Bullock in that movie.
No.
But yeah, see, look, I know my movie shit,
You
dude.
do know your movie shit. You know way more movie shit than I do.
Did you see that movie? Like, did you show
Minions?
that with your kid?
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah.
That was 2, the one you're talking about.
I mean,
no, that was Minions.
It's a prequel to Despicable Me 1.
That's right.
He shows up at the end as a kid.
Right.
And freezes her and takes the Minions.
That's right. And then
2 is out
Minions,
now,
Despicable Me, and then Despicable Me 2.
Which is out right now. No.
Or is it Minion? No,
Is it Despicable Me 3 now?
I think they might be up to 3.
I think it's 3.
I seriously have to look.
I think it's 3.
I think they're funny.
I think 2 had Kristen Wiig as the villain hero in that. And then I think in 3 they're working together and with his brother against Matt Stone, I believe.
Okay.
Are you looking it up?
Well, Sandra Bullock was Scarlet Overkill.
Right.
Steve Carell's
Gru. Do you have any Halloween stories, Corey?
Halloween stories.
If not, we can do an all Halloween episode next week if you're down.
I think we could do that. Do that one next week.
So bring some Halloween material.
Yeah.
So think about some real life. This is what I did years ago. Think about some real life, like, scary moments that you can think of.
Okay.
Not in the not like when that your lift almost fell or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Not that kind of scary, but like the freaky, spooky,
right.
Ghostly encounters, anal probes from aliens.
Right. Okay.
Things, spooky encounters, like maybe, you went camping and it was late one night, or you're walking on an empty street.
I got a couple of those.
So
I got a couple of good ones.
So write those down.
Okay.
Bring them next week. Maybe a top movie horror list.
That'd be a short list for me.
Because you don't watch horror movies.
I don't. It's funny because you love horror movies.
I love horror movies.
Like, I think if you
but
could
my wife can't watch them. So.
If you could only watch horror movies for the rest of your life, would you be happy?
I wouldn't say I'd be happy, but I'd be fine.
You'd be like content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? I will watch them,
Like, I can't watch horror movies with Rose.
Right.
I'm slowly, like, she's watched it with me. But she has to cover her eyes and kind of peep through. And, like, if I've read books or, like, I've seen plenty of horror movies that I know, like, okay, this is probably going to be a spot where something's going to happen.
Got to meter them out for the kids. So they don't, like, I watched the original It when I was a little kid.
Yeah, me too.
I think the first the first like real horror movie I saw was Child's Play.
I saw that one pretty early. I mean, they used to play like those movies on USA.
Yeah, USA.
When I'd go trick or treating,
right?
Those would be like they do a Child's Play marathon.
Yeah.
On USA.
And I don't remember which one it was. I think it might have been the first one.
Forget about Chucky. She doesn't do Chucky. Like if I went and bought like a Chucky doll, which I would love to do,
right? She would flip her shit.
Right, like under our bed. So we've got a big bed, and then you can pull the drawer out and put shit under there. And one day I was like, "What if I just pull the Chucky doll out?" She's like, "You're
what
not."
What you do is you take all.
So I'm tempted to go and buy a fucking Chucky doll and do that again.
If you do that, you need to film it.
She would
fucking
disown
you.
She would divorce me. That would be the end.
Yeah.
She doesn't do Chucky.
That's great. My one of my good friends is like super duper into Halloween, like decorating and all that kind of shit. And he had a Halloween party 3 years ago now, and he had gone to this fucking whatever store.
Halloween
I don't know. It was a Halloween store, Spirits maybe. And
Halloween City.
They had their backyard all decked out and everything, and everybody came over and got drunk, and it was fun.
Hey-oh.
But he found this baby, and it's like a crawling baby, but it's got like demon face.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking really super creepy. Like
at Spirit, they have a crib and they put them all in there.
Yeah, all the babies are in the crib. That's great. So, and it's funny. It freaked his mom out. Like she hates it. She hates the baby demon thing.
Well, last year, I tried to get the little girl Melody into like a knight costume, and she'd start crying.
A knight?
Like a Game of Thrones
knight.
Okay. And I think she might have had a cold at the time as well. And so we took her out like to Toys R Us, I think. And then we stopped at the Spirit store. And we tried to go in and she couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
She could not handle the Spirit store.
So what are you guys what is Melody dressing up as for Halloween this year, do you know?
I don't know, but I can ask.
I'm just curious.
She's done a Chucky before.
Does she? That's great. See, that's like the hardest part as a parent for Halloween. Is like,
I think it's going to be something gay and stupid.
Yeah. It's trying to figure out what your kid wants to be and then matching that with what you want them to be.
Well, your kid doesn't do it, because I had the Halloween party last year.
Right.
And you guys couldn't get dressed for it, right? At home.
We didn't want to scare the shit out of him at the house. And he has since expressed an interest in actually being scary this year. Like, instead of just dressing up as a fireman or a fucking a ninja or whatever the fuck, kids do.
She wants to be Mulan.
Okay. That's cute. For kids.
For kids.
I wouldn't do it. Ask her which adjective Mulan, her man version or her non-man version. So this year he's if you ask him, what are you gonna be for Halloween this year? He's gone from he kept calling it a Facehugger, which is kind of the word I think I used the wrong word when I was explaining it to him.
That's what I say with blowjobs.
Right.
So we can't say that anymore.
I don't know how it came up in conversation, but I ended up having to explain to him
what a blowjob
the movie, the Aliens movie.
He wants to be a face hugger for Halloween?
The concept of a face hugger.
So kind of like maybe get like a spider costume where they have the arms that are dangling?
That would be cool to do something, like make a tail. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of work.
He wants to be that?
From what I explained to him.
How does he know what that is?
That's what I'm telling you right now. Is we were like at the house one day and we were just fucking around and I said face hugger. And he's like, well, Daddy, what's that? And I'm like, well, it's a thing. And he goes, well, what's that from? And I was like, well, it's from a movie called Aliens.
Which we have never done the commentary for.
No. Maybe we'll hammer both.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hammer on my old man and try to get that handled. But, so I had to basically tell him what I could remember of the story of, you know, how the aliens are and what they do and where the facehuggers come from and what they do. And it was just this, like, half-hour episode of me trying to explain to him the movie of Aliens without him seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that moment forward, he was obsessed with
Did you show it to him?
I showed him a picture of it finally, and he looked at it, like, I showed him a picture of, like, the little spider, scorpion-looking thing, and I showed him a picture of it from, like, the movie, the screenshot where it's, like, wrapped around somebody's face.
Yeah.
And I was like, so do you want to be, like, somebody who has one on their
its face?
Or do you actually want to be the thing? And he's like, oh, I want to be the thing. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how the fuck we're going to do that.
Yeah, probably just like the fucking how they do the spider costumes where they have
it's probably not a bad idea, right? So then he goes from that to telling people that he wants to be a scary zombie.
Oh, he wants to be a zombie now.
Right? But, like, I'm thinking it would be a really cool opportunity to do, like, some cool, like, effects makeup, right? And, like, make him look like legit zombie.
Yeah.
Like, do some, you know, torn flesh
Shit
effects
hanging off,
and do some really cool stuff and, you know, maybe make one of his arms look stumpy or something. I don't know. Like, make it look like his arm is, like, ripped off or whatever. So, I don't know.
So, whatever.
And then he was like, I want to be a zombie with 1,000 eyes. So, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you want, dude. And then we tried to talk
I want to be a zombie face hugger with 1,000 eyes.
Well,
who's also a fireman.
Who's also a firefighter, policeman.
Hobo, ghost, ninja.
That does National Guard on the weekends.
Oh, shit.
So
2 weekends a year.
2 weekends. One weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Be all you can be in the army. So at least I got you once this time. I consider my job done if I can make you fucking crack up. So,
That was good.
But and then we were sitting down at my mom's house having dinner last weekend, and we're like, well, because we did family costumes last year, like everybody kind of had like a theme, right?
Right, so we're doing that this year in Vegas. We're going to Vegas so that I can see my nephew
for the actual Halloween.
Or in the Halloween weekend.
Okay. So
Halloween's on Tuesday.
Yeah. So last year we did Star Wars characters. Everybody was Star Wars. He was Captain Rex. It was one of the. It's from the animated series.
Oh.
I
have no knowledge.
He's a clone trooper. He's got the blue stripe on his helmet. Fuck, I don't know.
Okay.
That's what he wanted. And we bought him a little blaster and shit, and the costume. He was happy with it, and the armor sucked. But it was just for Halloween, right?
Sure.
See, I get carried away. Like, I'm like, Halloween is like an excuse to build a cosplay.
Yeah.
And I don't ever do that in enough time so that it's good. So I end up not doing it. Or getting like halfway through a project and be like, fuck, it's not going to be ready. So let's just do something else.
Let's buy a costume.
Yeah, let's buy one or whatever. Or fucking turn whatever I have into something else.
A t-shirt that has the...
Right. And then my mom did actually a pretty believable Han Solo costume.
For you?
For her.
Oh, your mom was a
My
man?
mom was the Han Solo.
She was the transgender
She was
Han.
the transgender Han.
In the modern world.
Right. She's modern Han Solo.
Can you imagine
after,
like, in the 80s, just as far back as the 80s, like mid-80s, 85, and being like, this is what's going on in the world today, where people can't have fun.
Right?
Without someone being like...
totally butthurt for somebody else.
Absolutely. Like Halloween, like... I don't know. I
can't dress up as an Indian.
Like, we watched E.T. We watched E.T. the other night. And there's a Halloween scene in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I remember Halloween being as a kid. And it doesn't seem like that's how Halloween is now that I'm an adult. Do you remember E.T.?
I'm trying.
There's kids running around
the streets,
everywhere.
That's how Halloween was when we were kids.
Yeah.
You fucking see you later, mom and dad. And as long as you were going to your own
There
neighborhood,
were no adults with those kids.
no. And when we would go trick or treating, I mean, albeit of a certain age, you know, it has to be an appropriate age, at least that, or you have an older sibling who can take you, which at a certain point I did. But
I had to have been in 6th grade.
yeah, I think
going by myself.
That's about right.
So 11.
Yeah. And I think that's sufficient. I mean, really, 10, 11 years old, that's fine. Like, to run around the neighborhood and fucking beg people for candy all night, dude, we would fucking stay out till 10 o'clock. And because I usually went to my buddy's house in Cold Springs, because there's more houses to go to. Like, I would usually get dressed, hit the trailer park where I lived, and then my mom would take me over to his house, and then we would fucking hit the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Cold Springs was a big enough neighborhood back then that we couldn't hit everything.
You didn't have any older kids that were fucking
no, dude. It was
snatching bags.
We're all 5th, 6th grade.
I remember being like one of those early years that there's a kid that was running around snatching bags, one of my friends' bags.
Yeah, it was. They always talked about it, like talking about being careful about it or talking about it happening, but I never saw it. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Well, clearly, I've experienced it by proxy.
Sure. So. But yeah, I mean, 10, 11 years old, we're out running around by ourselves, and we get back to my friend's house, and his parents are in bed. Mm-hmm. Like,
don't even.
They were in bed. They were in bed like watching TV.
Right.
They weren't like asleep. But it's like they're not fucking standing out on the porch looking for us. They're not following us in the car.
And back in the day, before there were cell phones too.
Yeah, I mean, we just fucking run, and it was like. I think his mom said, you know, be home before 10. Mm-hmm. It's like, we're fucking 10 years old, and we're staying out till 10 o'clock at night, and there's no street lights in Cold Springs.
Really?
Not in most of the neighborhoods there are not. So, I mean, you're running around, we got flashlights, nobody's got jacket on, because that's not cool.
Do you remember a thing, this was a thing when I was a kid, when the street lights come on, it's time to come in.
Yeah, and that's how it was at my mom's house, because we did have street lights in that neighborhood. And we would play on the streets, and it's the same thing. When the street light comes on, that's time to come in. And then, you know, of course, during the week when it was school time and stuff, it was, you know.
And I lived in this trailer park over here, and speed bumps, and you can only play bump to bump.
Yep, that was how it was at my mom's house. There was a speed bump at the top of the street, there was a speed bump at the bottom of the street, and we could ride our bikes
bump to bump
in between the bumps. Yeah.
And when those lights come on, you come in.
That's right. And then in the summertime, when we were home all day, like my grandma would like keep an eye on us. She would tell us just check in every hour.
Yeah. So checking in.
Go play.
Grab a sandwich on
I had
check-in.
I had a fucking watch. I could tell time. So it's like, okay, and we would like synchronize. It'd be like, okay, I'm going to check in at 1 o'clock. I'm going to check in at 2 o'clock or whatever, you know, and then you come home and eat lunch or whatever. But yeah. You know, and unfortunately, we can't do that with our kids anymore because the world is so fucked up that we can't trust the other people in the world anymore.
Well, we live in a world where people are looking at their cell phone while they're driving.
No, and they're fucking taking kids and they're fucking killing kids, and it's like,
I mean, the taking of kids hasn't stopped.
No, that's always been a thing.
That's always been a thing.
But it just seems like
it's more like you hear about it more.
It seems like we're more cautious now because of the availability of the information. Like, you know, 20 years ago, you didn't have a cell phone in your pocket, so you weren't watching the news constantly. So if it wasn't on the
and not just the local news now, it's
the world news.
The city over, the state over, 50 cities in that state, and
yep,
you hear about every little thing everywhere.
And that's why it seems like everything is so
cute
bad
on the news.
Yeah, it seems like everything is so bad now because you can see everything.
Because you can see everything.
You know, and it really, you know, that started with Vietnam. Really, it started pushing the narrative.
You didn't see everything when we were young, but you knew to be careful of everything that there was.
Exactly. That's back when you bring your candy home and your parents check all the candy and.
You know, I think that's never. I think that's been proven that nothing's ever happened.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen or heard any real report of that. You can correct us if we're wrong.
No, I think on one of the podcasts that I listen to religiously, on one of their Halloween episodes, they
actually debunked it.
That no, it's never been proven other than someone who did it to like their own kid
to prove a point or whatever.
No. Like it was malicious.
Oh, that's fucked up.
I don't think I've ever seen like needles in. Phone change either. Like there. Do you remember that?
In the coin return?
Yeah, the coin return.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Did you ever hear about that?
I did.
Like, don't, watch out when you go to get your coin return. There might be syringes in there. But who's going to do that?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
There's no point.
I mean, I know people do fucked up shit just for the fuck of it, but I think that seems a little bit beyond.
Yeah. Well, and that's like a lot of things that your parents used to tell you, like, don't go swimming after you eat and for half an hour or an hour or whatever it is.
Which...
It's bullshit.
Where did that come from?
It's not real. It's an old wives' tale. And you know where it came from? It came from your parents didn't want to fucking take you right back to the pool after you ate in 5 fucking seconds. Because I have a kid now, and I fucking told him the truth. And guess what? When we're at the pool and we eat, he wants to get right back in the fucking pool. And guess what? I fucking let him. But before he could swim, I had to tell him, you have to wait until I'm done eating. Right?
I mean, I guess if you, fill your belly up with food and then go exercise, there is a possibility of maybe,
you could
rumbling some stuff out, sure.
Yeah, but
no cramping.
Yeah, cramping and then drowning, that was stupid. Whoever came up with that was an asshole.
You know, one that I was told was eating ramen noodles uncooked.
They'll make you sick, or...
Like, it'll expand in your stomach.
I think you're turning Japanese.
That's something about masturbating. So. No, just that, it'll expand in your stomach and, I don't know. Like
it doesn't expand
in the water when you're right.
And then you eat the whole fucking thing anyway?
Right.
Jesus. The stuff we fucking lie to our kids about. I mean, my wife and I...
No, I don't think that was told to me in a lie. I think that was told to me by an adult who actually believed it.
I think that's it has a lot to do with it. Like, our parents probably actually believed that there was shit in your fucking Halloween candy or was a possibility thereof.
Right.
Or... maybe they even believe that you could get fucking stomach cramps from eating before you go swimming. I don't know. Because they probably got told the same shit back in the fucking, early 60s and their grandparents before them.
Right.
A lot of stuff comes from somewhere because of something somebody said.
Some asshole jumped into the pool and got a cramp after eating.
He's like, oh, I can't swim.
But it's more about approximation of timing rather than an actual
correlation and causation.
Right. And then they're like, oh, shit. We aren't doing that again.
Well, okay. Prime example, peanuts. Okay? Peanuts were thought to be poisonous for the longest time because the first person to fucking eat peanuts on record was allergic to peanuts.
I've never heard that.
I have heard that. I could find the white papers for you. But peanuts were thought to be poisonous for the longest time because somebody who tried them early on got sick and had anaphylactic shock. Which they weren't aware of. They didn't know really what that was. They just knew that the guy fucking ate it and he was dying.
It's gotta be this poison
It's this fucking poison nuts. We can't eat those. But they're delicious on sandwiches with jelly. And people didn't realize that for a long time.
That's funny.
Those people missed out on a lot of peanut butter and jellies. Do you still eat peanut butter and jelly sometimes?
No, I never really have. It's one of those things where, I don't think about it. If I have one by chance... Right. I'd probably eat the fuck out of it and then get over it real quick.
Yeah, I do.
But I'm not a peanut butter and jelly guy. If anything, I would rather have just a peanut butter.
Just peanut butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through a thing where I was I would eat almost a whole fucking jar of peanut butter. Just watching TV or whatever, when I had my back surgery.
With a spoon?
Yeah. Just get a spoon and a jar of peanut butter and just fucking eat that shit.
Do you like the chunky peanut butter with the nuts in it?
I do like chunky peanut butter with nuts in it.
Have a big old mouthful of nuts.
Just eat the booty like groceries. So, yeah.
Is that Sequel Productions for this week?
I think that covers the
gamut.
The gamut for the week.
And next week we'll bring some Halloween spooky material.
Well, I'm Cory Easley.
I'm Matt Bonta.
I beat you to the punch this time.
See you later.